Well, you were selling it?
Yeah.
I bet someone would want that. Yeah.
I don't want it.
Yeah, I don't want to keep that in my house.
No, fuck no, Joe. Why do you think I keep it in a black fucking box, man?
Yeah.
I don't want it. But I know there is people out there that would treat it better than me. Like, I crammed it in a box.
Yeah, well.
And the guy that stored it for me put it in glass.
Zak Bagans needs to just stop. He has got one of the most successful haunted museums arguably on the planet, right? The guy is known for ghost adventures. He is ghost adventures through and through. There is no need for him to be taking well-known serial killers' memorabilia and well-known, basically, dictators' memorabilia and putting it on display for the world to see so that everyone can remember who these people are, because sometimes people like this deserve to be forgotten. So I called this kind of behavior out not too long ago when he took some of the remains and what's basically left of the belongings of Samuel Little, who is one of America's most notorious serial killers, putting it on display in his haunted museum for hundreds of thousands of people to see, arguably every year. I don't know what the turnover is, but I'm going to assume it's around that much. Instead of kind of, focusing on what he's known for, which is the ghost adventures stuff and the ghosts and the ghouls. Because if I'm honest, I just feel like these kinds of people don't deserve to have the limelight. They don't deserve to be put on a pedestal. They don't deserve to kind of get the same level of notoriety as, some of the ghost lore stories and stuff like this, right? These people were genuine people who committed genuine murders, ruined a lot of people's lives, and now some people's, that memory is going to live on and on and on because Zak Bagans has got it on display in his museum. But he has done it once again, but this time with one of history's most notorious dictators in Saddam Hussein. Now, in case you don't know who Saddam Hussein is, I'd be incredibly surprised if that name did not ring any bells. Saddam Hussein, who lived from 1937 to 2006, was an authoritarian president of Iraq from 1979 to 2003. He was a leading figure in the Ba'ath Party, which promoted Arab nationalism and socialism. Known for his brutal rule, Saddam maintained power through widespread use of violence, torture, and oppression, particularly against political opponents and ethnic minorities like the Kurds and the Shia Muslims. His regime was marked with two major wars: the Iran-Iraq War from 1980 to 1988 and the Gulf War from 1990 to 1991. The latter sparked by Iraq's invasion of Kuwait. Despite heavy sanctions and military defeat, Saddam maintained power until the US-led invasion of Iraq in 2003, based on claims that he possessed weapons of mass destruction, which were never found. Saddam was captured by US forces in December of 2023, tried by Iraqi Special Tribunal, and executed by hanging in December of 2006 for crimes against humanity, particularly for the massacre of 148 Shia Iraqis in the town of Dujail in 1982. His fall left Iraq in turmoil, leading to years of conflict and instability that still impact the region today. Now, Zak has decided that this is the perfect person to be parading again in his haunted museum. Might I add, haunted museum, not museum of natural true crime enthusiasts. It is a haunted museum, but he has got the true crime bit, and I just feel like for people like this, they don't deserve to be put on that pedestal. Yes, they were figures in history, but you wouldn't see relics of Adolf Hitler put into museums or put into places like this. So I don't feel like Saddam Hussein, who is, thought of in the same kind of ilk as someone like Adolf Hitler, to be put in that kind of pedestal. They deserve to die in history, and the memory of them deserves to die in history, a lot would argue, right? And, for a lot of people, someone like Saddam Hussein or someone like Samuel Little, right, can bring a lot of trauma, especially if, relatives were involved with the reign of Saddam Hussein, or, relatives were murdered by someone like Samuel Little, and then to have their name remembered by hundreds of thousands of people because of someone who is as famous as Zak Bagans, it just feels a bit wrong. Now, this transaction in particular comes after Zak saw John Shrek McPhee. Shrek's just like a thing that he's been labelled. He's not actually got a middle name called Shrek. When he was on Joe Rogan's podcast and put out an Instagram post stating,
"Everybody I know likes to take a picture with that and the hat." So it's kind of popular. But yeah, the hat's been in Texas here for a very long time. Been stored in Texas. Got it documented about as much as possible as I can.
Some fucking nightmares in that
I don't know.
hat.
Hey, you know anybody that might want it?
What, you were selling it?
Yeah,
I bet someone would want that. Yeah.
I don't want it.
Yeah, I don't
And
want
if
to keep
someone-
that in my house.
No, fuck no, Joe. Why do you think I keep it in a black fucking box, man? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't want it. But I know there is people out there that would treat it better than me. Like, I crammed it in a box.
Yeah, well,
And the guy that stored it for me put it in glass. You know what I mean? Like, he kind of knew what he was doing. Actually, I had it stuffed in a bag.
you know what that would be good for? Zak Bagans' Haunted Museum in Vegas. Have you ever
Do you
been to
know
that?
Zach? No.
Yeah,
I hear
yeah.
that place is fucking creepy.
It's creepy.
My brother said it was
It's
fucking
fucking
creepy.
creepy.
And my
Like,
brother
legit
likes creepy shit, and he was freaked out.
Oh, he's got everything in that
I
place.
know.
He's got Kevorkian's van
I
where
know.
he killed all those
Hey,
people.
hey,
in.
he's got the Camaro from fucking the Waco. What's Koresh?
Does he?
And like the
I
cereal.
don't think so.
I thought he bought
No,
the
I was gonna
Camaro
buy
from
that
Koresh.
Camaro.
You were gonna
No,
buy?
yeah. That
Wasn't the
Camaro was
serial
for
number
sale.
like I am God or something?
Was it?
Wasn't it the serial number?
It's a 68 Camaro, and it was for sale. And I came that close to pulling the trigger on it. But I was like, I don't want that fucking bad juju in my life. That's it. 68 Camaro from Deadly Siege. Zak Bagans. Oh, he does have. So he bought it. So Zach bought it.
Yeah.
I have to have this hat. Hey, John McPhee, reach out to me, please, on IG or email us at the museum. Basically insinuating that he desperately wanted the hat, but he got a lot more than just that, because when the transaction took place, he got Saddam Hussein's hat and he also got Saddam Hussein's jumper. That transaction seemed to take place on the 8th of February when another Instagram post was made, this time by John McPhee, which states, "Got one last night out of Saddam's sweater before it heads to its new home. This and my Saddam hat are making their way to real Zak Bagans, where they'll be well taken care of. Appreciate you, Zach. See you soon."
All right, just got back from some dinner. Look at this. This is a shout out for Zak Bagans. Look, I figure I'd take the sweater, wear it one last time. Look at the short on my. It's a little small on me. Wore it to dinner one last time before Zach gets it, but shout out Zak Bagans taking the sweater and the hat from me. We'll see how this goes.
And then TMZ ran an article about this. This is how I come to learn about it, talking about Zak Bagans. Saddam's clothes are in my museum, bagged them from Baghdad. Zak Bagans just bagged some historical artifacts for his famous museum. A couple of Saddam Hussein's belongings courtesy of the Sheriff of Baghdad. The Ghost Adventure star tells TMZ retired US Army Special Operations Sergeant Major John Shrek McPhee bought him Saddam's hat and sweater all the way from Iraq. John obtained Saddam's clothing directly from Hussein's tailor in Baghdad before US forces captured Saddam in 2003. John's arguably the most badass US military member in the last 30 years, and Zach says they become friends recently after Joe Rogan put him in touch with the sheriff. And Zach even goes on and states that he will be collabing with John on a Civil War battlefield investigation for his show, and John gave him the Saddam gear as part of the deal to do an investigation together. John's a big Ghost Adventures fan himself, and he told Zach that he binge watched the show when he came home from his deployment. No word on the release date for Zach and John's collaboration, but in the meantime, Zach says he's going to be putting Saddam's clothing on display in his haunted museum in Las Vegas. Now, obviously, I've kind of shared my opinions on this. I don't feel like, you know, these kinds of things should be put on display, if I'm honest. I just, like, I understand that for someone like John, these may be seen as trophies or something like that, but I just don't feel like they have a place in a haunted museum. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being too judgmental. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, jump scare the hell out of that like button, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.